So, with next week, or rather 2 weeks from now, basically, we're going to be getting Parasite the Grey, which is a film not only directed by the director of Train to Busan, the guy who did Train to Busan, but also while it will be a live-action anime adaptation of Parasite, it's going to be done in a way of something I've kind of wanted anime live-action films to do. You see, a lot of people are a little confused because it's a female lead and it's in Korea, and I don't think a lot of people have gotten it yet. I know a lot of people have, but there are some people who are like, why is this totally different from the anime? Well, this goes in a different direction than most anime live-action movies. This is actually just another story in that universe, which is something I've wanted forever. It's something I've wanted forever for a lot of anime properties. Whenever you get like a live-action anime adaptation, it's a crapshoot at this point. Like, sometimes you get like some like One Piece, which I haven't watched because I'm not a One Piece fan, so I've heard nothing but good things. The fans really like it, but there are other times where, like, you get whatever the hell Dragon Ball Evolution was and the Cowboy Bebop live action. So it's really now gone from shit show to crapshoot at this point. And Netflix is trying to do anime adaptations of everything to capture that One Piece lightning in a bottle. But why I think Parasite the Grey is such an interesting concept is because it's doing something that I think a lot of what I've been saying for a long time. Rather than try to like serve two masters of trying to please the fans and do an adaptation of like story arcs that go on for goddamn ever and inevitably cut time or even fuck up the main source material. The thing of it is that why not just do a story in that universe? Like, it makes more sense if you just do a story in that universe with new characters, follow the same rules, and maybe even have a character or two show up in the movie that connect with it. I think, like, we're kind of like, and this is my biggest thing, is that I feel like we just kind of, like, writers and people who do these live-action animes really pigeonhole themselves of trying to do two things at once, or even try to do something so unbelievably different that it almost feels like the writers and everyone else on the creative team thinks they know better than the original anime and those creators, which honestly I would believe at some points, because it really does feel like at some point, in some cases, it really, and I do stress really, feels like that these writers want to prove that, like, they think they're better than the original creators. Now, I'm not saying everyone, obviously not. That's not the case with a lot of the writing staff on these live action animes. I don't think it's intentional, but I do feel like there is points where it's very it's evident. I'm not saying it's a case with a lot, but I do feel it there. Anyway, so and again, like, I really do feel like you pigeonhole yourself there when you can you can play in that sandbox. Some of these anime universes are so massive that you really are kind of limiting yourself, and rather than just play in a sandbox. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that I feel like, rather than, and also you don't have to piss off the fan base, and if they don't like it, it's like, oh, it was just there. It's not like a stain on the fandom. It's just like another story that's over there. It doesn't damage anything in their fandom. It's just over there. Like, if by some reason, I don't think it will. I really don't think it will. But if by some reason if Parasite the Grey doesn't turn out well, no one's going to be too, like, everyone who loved Parasite's just going to be like, look over there and go, it's over there. It's not bothering this. Like, it doesn't bother this. Although, to be fair, I'm not one of those people who say, like, oh, such and such damaged my love for the show. Like, I never said that about the Avatar Last Airbender Shyamalan movie. It was like, it's garbage, but it doesn't damage my viewing of Avatar The Last Airbender. In fact, it increases it. Or like when Cowboy Bebop, which I sat down and watched, I was like, it's not awful, but it also is not great. But it doesn't damage my viewing of the original Cowboy Bebop anime. In fact, it only increases it. I'm not saying everyone's like that. I'm just saying, like, that's just, and I know I'm not the only one in that regard. So what could you do, like, if you could do, like, there's so much you can do in a massive universe, rather than try to, like, take characters that we know and try to redo the story. Like, why not just take the rules from that anime that you clearly want to use more, apply it to its own universe and its own characters, and it can be a cool side piece, like expand the universe. There's a lot I think that could work like that. I think Tenchi Muyo could work as that. I think you could do a lot with the Jiraiyan Empire and talk about, like, the lore of Jirai, as well as talk about, like, maybe even the war on Geminar or whatnot. I could say, like, well, I do think you can do it, and while I am one of those proponents who says, like, you can do a Black Lagoon live-action movie or TV show, I think, like, it would be cool if, like, you just did it in that universe with another gang. Not saying, like, another crew, like the Lagoon Company. I'm saying, like, a gang, like, kind of make it like a Gangs of New York kind of thing, or Scarface, but set in Roanapur, and even, like, have live action versions of Bella Lyka and Revi and other characters show up, and have them do, like, their own. They're gonna go do their own thing in the anime, and this is just the side piece to it. Then you have like, other expansive universe, like Cowboy Bebop is expansive enough where you could have focused on another group of characters, or a character, like, because there's so many bounty hunters out there. It's a goddamn sport almost. I know it's not, but you bear with me. So you could have focused on another character, or even members of Vicious's you know, the dragons, you know, the black dragon, the dragons, that gang. I know that's the full name, but, like, I'm drawing a blank here, my head hurts. So you could have done something cool there. You could have played with that. Hell, Ghost in the Shell is so massive. You could have focused on so much in the world, rather than try to do whatever the hell that Scarlett Johansson movie was. That was awful. You could have done is how you could have done that live action movie is focus on, like, maybe the American Empire, or some, like, all the stuff going on in Europe, and have it be another, like that nation's version of Sector 9. Like, that's what you could have done. Like, you could have had their own version of that, because like, every country has their own little Black Ops group. That's Sector 9 is Japan's. You could have something else and really, like, explore, like, the lore of these universes and kind of build on it. Like, again, we don't really get a lot of the American Empire in Ghost in the Shell, other than it's over there, and sometimes they're assholes to us, but you could have done something really cool in that regard. So yeah, showcase the American Empire. I would even say, like, there are other places in anime you could do that with. I don't know if you could do that with Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if you could do that, a live-action Dragon Ball Z show, focusing on characters, because the Z Fighters are the main focus, so maybe you could have done something with, like, and I don't think anyone's going to care about regular civilians, and that one's so tight-knit with the fighters, that you can really focus on that with totally new characters without them getting involved with Goku. So I don't think you could do a Dragon Ball Z one. Maybe, and I've talked about this before, what I would have liked to seen is either an anime, and you could do this as live action, is talk about the origin of the Saiyans. Because there is the planet Salada, their original homeworld, and civil war broke out among the Saiyans, and it led to the destruction of Salada, them going to another planet, committing mass genocide and making it Planet Vegeta, and restarting the Saiyan Empire. That is the basis for, like, something like, imagine Dragon Ball Z, but, like, in the form of Game of Thrones. Or House of the Dragon. Like, that's a really cool idea. Either have it live action or anime, because, and I know what you're thinking, oh, everyone's power level is going to be so equal. That's the point. That's what makes it fun, is that no one's stronger than the other. The Saiyans are everyone's on the same level, so everyone's just beating the shit out of each other on equal footing, and that kind of makes the fight more interesting. You know, we could talk about, like, the Saiyan caste system. We can talk about Vegeta and his family's bloodline. We can talk about, like, the genocide that led to the creation of New Vegeta, Planet Vegeta. Yeah, that could work as either an anime or a full-on story, like that's a live act. Now that's how you could do live action Dragon Ball Z, or even the formation of the Red Ribbon Army. Those are your only two options, in my opinion. Because again, I don't think you could do like a new character and give him all this power and focus on his stories without getting involved with the Z, and how he didn't get involved with the Z Fighters before. Look how well that did for the Mortal Kombat live action movie. Looking at you, boring ass Chase. Or whatever the hell your name was. I've forgotten that guy's name. But all I know was, why are you here? Anyway. So there you go. Fun fact, but although not fun fact, this is apparently what was supposed to happen. Adam Wingard's original take on Death Note was supposed to be set after the events of the anime, and it was supposed to focus on the Death Note being found by a kid in America and tell that like an after story. That's why it was so. That's why everything was. And then last minute, Netflix says, no, make it an adaptation of the anime. So that's what we got. I don't know if that's true or not, but after seeing the script and seeing how some things were changed so drastically, I was like, I could believe that this was supposed to be like its own story before the Netflix execs put their dick in it. I can believe that. I can't confirm that's what happened, but I can believe that story. But I can thoroughly believe that story if it's true. Anyway, so that's just my 2 cents on it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys want more anime live-action adaptations to be their own stories, or do you prefer them to be like straight-up adaptations? And if so, if you like the idea of them existing in the universe, what would you want to see out of them? Just comment. Oh, I didn't even bring up Gundam, because there's like Gundam could literally. There's so many Gundam universes and whatnot. You could do whatever the flying fuck you want in Gundam. You want to talk about sandbox? Boom. I'm even convinced that the Gundam live action movie that's supposed to be coming out is like that. Like it's a story in the universe. Anyway, so yeah, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.